If you met a manta ray at the surface, you'd think you were looking at the calmest and most elegant creature in the ocean. Some divers describe them as almost spiritual beings, drifting in open blue water. But that's only what the ocean wants you to see. Follow the manta into the deep, and the illusion swiftly starts to crack. The first strange thing you notice is the size. A single manta ray can stretch almost 7 meters across, wider than most cars, and yet, despite its size, it barely moves the water around it, almost as if physics doesn't apply. Look closer at those wings, and you will see micro-textures and patterns across the manta ray's skin. They look like velvet, but they are anything but soft. Each tiny ridge controls how water slides across the body, turning this giant into one of the most efficient swimmers on Earth. Aircraft designers tried to copy the manta's curve, but they failed. But the strangest detail is not the wings, it is their head. Two fins unfold from the front like small horns, curling and uncurling as the manta moves. At first they look cute, but once they open fully, they twist into curved tunnels that funnel water with mechanical precision. These are not horns, but feeding machines evolved over millions of years to direct invisible plankton into a cavernous mouth. When filmed up close, the movement looks almost unnatural, like watching a pair of alien appendages unfold for the first time. And then there is the mouth itself. It is huge, wide enough for a person to fit inside. Not that the manta would ever try to eat one. The manta has no interest in humans, and not nearly enough teeth to do anything with one anyway. Its teeth are tiny, almost pointless. But its gill filters are some of the finest sieving devices in nature, capturing microscopic prey out of open water. If you follow the manta as it feeds, you will see something even strange. It does not simply glide forward with its mouth open. It performs slow, spiraling turns and barrel rolls, repeated again and again, as it traps plankton in a floating circle. When multiple mantas arrive, things get chaotic. Dozens begin circling together, forming a vortex known as a manta cyclone, a moving whirlpool of wings drifting just below the surface. It is shockingly coordinated, like watching a storm decide to move in elegant choreography. But movement isn't the only odd thing happening here, it's how the mantas interact. They don't ignore one another like most large fish, they watch each other, they follow. Some even swim side by side for minutes at a time, mirroring each other's movements with eerie accuracy. Marine biologists studying these behaviors point to something unusual happening inside the head. The manta ray has the largest brain of any fish, not just in size, but in ratio to its body. The brain is warm, highly folded, and surprisingly complex. Certain parts resemble the brain structures of mammals more than sharks. You can see it in the way they behave. Some mantas approach divers out of curiosity, circling them softly. Others hover above coral cleaning stations, waiting patiently in line as tiny fish nibble parasites from their skin. When their turn comes, they move slowly forward, holding position with gentle wing beats. Curious mantas sometimes seem almost deliberate in how they study a person or a camera. Before the manta sinks into the dim water again, it does something that breaks the calm entirely. Without warning, the giant shadow tilts upward, accelerates and rockets toward the surface. A 2,000-kilogram body cuts through the last 10 meters like a blade. Then the ocean explodes. The manta launches into the air, wings spread, rising higher than any fish its size should. For a moment, it hangs above the sea like a dark star, then crashes down with a slap so loud it echoes across the waves. Scientists still don't fully know why they do this, maybe to shake off parasites, or to send a signal miles through the water. Some think it might even be a kind of social display. Whatever the reason, the manta's calm disguise cracks open here. The deeper you follow, the stranger it gets. Sunlight fades from blue to silver to grey. The manta becomes ghostly, almost glowing in the dim water. Its wings barely move now, gliding through a twilight world where color disappears. Most animals become sluggish as they dive hundreds of meters down. The manta does the opposite. Its movement becomes cleaner, quieter, almost predatory, though it has no interest in hunting anything larger than a grain of rice. At depths where pressure tightens the water and muffles all sound, the manta transforms from an angelic shape into something almost mythic, a dark silhouette drifting with purpose through a place few creatures survive. And this is where the surface illusion finally breaks. A creature this large, this calm, and this precise is not simple. It's not gentle in the way we want it to be. It is something far older, far more engineered by evolution, far more intelligent than a fish has any right to be. If you're still here, maybe you're just as strange as these creatures. Like, subscribe and tell me, would you follow a shadow this size into deeper water? Diving deeper, the manta ray begins to reveal the behaviors that almost no one ever sees. It moves through a world where sunlight never touches, a blue-gray nothingness filled with drifting particles and distant shadows. Down here, its wings seem sharper, the edges darker, the movement slower, but far more deliberate. Most large fish avoid these colder layers. The manta doesn't avoid anything. It glides straight through the dim water as if pulled by something only it can sense. Then the ocean floor rises beneath it, not a solid wall, but a ridge covered in dark coral, sponge towers, and swaying sea fans. This is a cleaning station, though the name barely captures what happens here. A single manta approaches first, turning slowly above the reef. Within minutes, more shadows drift in from the distance, forming a silent congregation of manta rays. Tiny cleaners pick at parasites, dead skin, and tiny creatures hiding in the manta's gills. For reasons no one fully understands, mantas come back to these same spots for years, sometimes decades. They know the exact rock, the exact slope, the exact place where the service begins. They hover patiently, holding still as the fish sweep across their skin. But even here, something strange happens. Mantas don't just wait. They seem to take turns. One individual slows, circles above the group, then descends only when the previous one moves aside. This isn't random. It's structured. It resembles social order, something seen in dolphins, elephants, and primates, but rarely in fish. But it gets even stranger when mantas behave as if they recognize individuals by personality. Some are bold, some are cautious, some seek contact with divers, approaching slowly and hovering just within reach. One famous manta, documented by researchers from the Marine Megafauna Foundation, kept returning to the same dive site. It allowed a diver to remove hooks embedded in its skin, not once but several times, as if it understood the purpose. For a fish, this is abnormal. For a brain this large, perhaps it is not. There is one more layer of strangeness most people never see. Occasionally, a manta ray dives deeper than expected. Tags have recorded individuals descending past 1,200 meters, entering darkness so complete that even bioluminescence struggles to glow. Why it goes there is still unknown. Some scientists think it is hunting dense pockets of deep plankton. Others believe the dives may help regulate internal temperature or reduce parasites. A few argue that the dives may be part of navigation, using deep sound channels to follow low-frequency cues across entire ocean basins. In a place where pressure grows heavy enough to collapse steel, the manta moves as though nothing changes at all. When it finally returns to the surface, and if you have followed it this far, you know the truth. The manta ray is not gentle. It is not simple. It is not what it first appears to be. It is an ancient creature shaped by oceans and an intelligence we still do not fully understand. I'd be honored if you like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see what calm looks like when it turns dangerous, watch the video titled "Why Killer Whales Get Deadlier the Closer You Look."